Good morning, Juventini. Welcome back to the All Juve Cast channel where it's all Juve all the time. And man, that gets me pumped every time, every
single
match
time.
day. And how's it going, my man?
Living the dream, Albert. Buried in snow. I got about 2 feet of it all around my house, maybe 3 in some spots. Just reading the chat here beforehand. Who are they talking about? Which old guy? I'm not going to answer that. We're a little delayed, but hey, that should be transparent to the viewers. We're here now. We are ready to go. It's Coppa Italia Day. Al, let's get it going.
Yeah, let's get it going. Delays are good, okay? Anticipation's good. Everybody should be getting fired up. And if you're fired up with us, I don't care one way or another, as long as you're fired up because it's a Juve match day. Let's
Damn
go.
right it
Now,
is. Let's go.
as always, we like to tackle a little bit of the surrounding news, okay, before we get into this here. And, okay, Luca, take it easy, right? Take it easy. So we got some interesting stuff flying around surrounding Juve as of late. Okay, I put out a little poll question here, and I said just asking for fans' opinions. Okay, in terms of who they think out of just 3 names. I only named 3. I didn't want to go through all of the players that were listed at links at some point throughout prior to the window and during the window, but just 3 names. Took Azmoun, Bruno Guimaraes, and Martial. And I said, who do you think, in your opinion, out of those 3, should one of them come in? Not even getting into the details on how to make any of those deals work. Just if one of those players comes in, who do you think has the most impact on this current Juventus? I'm curious to see everybody in the live, your answers. But Anthony, out of those 3, who do you think would have the biggest impact on this
Is
team?
there an option D? You didn't come up with a D, right?
No.
Well, Azmoun plays with that junkyard team up there in Russia that we spanked twice. So I think because he's a striker. If correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
The other 2 are also strikers. Help me
No.
out with that.
Bruno Guimaraes is a defensive midfielder.
Okay, man. Do we need that position? Like now, all this stuff with Rovella, maybe we'll get into that later on, but I don't really want to get into that. But I think we're going to have to because people are going to want to hear what we say, think about that. Striker is a position that we need. Striker is something that we need. So regardless of where the other ones play, if Azmoun is the only one we need help up top. Any help will do. Keane's not the guy. We've beaten that dead horse over and over and over again. So Morata needs some help up there. If Azmoun is the one for a cheap loan, for like a bag of balls, I'd take that.
Yeah. So much to my shock, this poll had 2 players around 20% and one at 61. And that is Bruno Guimaraes, the defensive midfielder. 61% of Juventini say bring in Bruno. And the thing with him, what does he do? He allows Locatelli to slot to Mezzala. And he does it like Bruno Guimaraes is probably definitely much more solid than Artur in many areas. So it's a vast improvement there.
So are you only bringing him in if Artur goes out?
Well, the thing is that Artur's probably going to go out on loan, so that doesn't help you in trying to tackle the 45 million euros that they want for Bruno Guimaraes. For me, it's kind of a tough one because right now with this particular team, he gets Locatelli up, but we still need the goals up top. So it's a tough one. I can't really say
I am awake.
I'm need goals, Luca. Like I know Bruno will have an impact, and obviously frees up Locatelli. But is that a bigger impact than getting a guy that could bang him in a little more frequently than what we've been getting up top? That's a tough question. So KM, Bruno Guimaraes, no doubt. Swati Azmoun, absolute steal. Luca saying Azmoun won't do nuts for us. Lewis saying Bruno. Him for Arthur is an immediate upgrade, would help Loca a lot. So it's interesting here. The striker options are not the best. The nice thing about Azmoun is he's pretty versatile. Martial's a little versatile too, but not as much. So it's interesting. Now with Martial, we're getting out that he has given apparently the go-ahead. This is obviously just from one of the sources today that he's given a go-ahead to Juventus. It makes it very, very challenging with his salary, though. So a couple of these other guys, death clutch, a couple of these other guys would be a lot less expensive, obviously, when it comes to salary. So Martial, your thoughts on Martial, and would you go that route if they make it happen? Would you be upset with the salary? Do we absolutely have to get a striker in here to finish up the season?
Yes, we do. Is Martial the guy? No, he's an outcast from the EPL. You hear stories about him and like his sort of attitude or lack thereof, and locker room issues. But I've never been a fan of his. I know he bangs a goal here and there, and they're pretty, but I've never seen any sort of consistent. For me, if we're bringing him in, just keep Morata. Like, he wouldn't be an upgrade or he's not on an equal playing level to me to what Morata's doing right now. So I see no reason to bring him in. Azmoun, I think, from the limited time that we've saw him play, the way his style is something that we need. Morata's been more of a back to goal player. Azmoun, does a little bit more of the attacking goal, which we'd like to see Keane do. Like that's what we want to see Keane do. But man, if that kid could just get it going, then we wouldn't have these issues. But
we have an issue.
What's that?
I think honestly, Martial doesn't excite me. He doesn't excite me. No. And if it's a striker that the team goes, if they think a boost is there, I probably choose Azmoun out of the two. I would choose Azmoun out of the two. That's me. The next question, that was very, very split. I expected it to be very, very split, and it was very interesting. A player I personally really, really like, but I had to answer no. And that's the rumors that are just saying that Juve in the summer would like to go after Zaniolo. Now, I just simply said, would you want Juve going after Zaniolo, given everything that we know about the player injury-wise and his current form? Would you want Juve going into that, yes or no? I put no. And I'm a big Zaniolo fan, but I
think we all are.
I think the only reason I said I personally wouldn't, and it's literally 52 to 48% in favor of no right now. It's super tight. But for me, it's just we're not in a position to take that risk. If we were better set up, more of an identity, a good solid roster, I would say, yeah, take that chance. We can't afford to take risks like that because Juve has to start hitting on quite a few moves consecutively to get out of this. So
which isn't easy to do.
Yeah. And right now we don't have the luxury of taking that risk and missing.
Help me answer the question. What is Zaniolo's best position?
I see him as an attacking mid, man. So maybe he could play out of the Mezzala. He can play as a winger and as a false nine, but his best, I'd probably play him coming out of the midfield as an attacking midfielder.
Right. So, which is something that we need. And I'm partial to guys coming back from knee injuries, obviously. I've always been a fan of Zaniolo. I've always, supported him on the national team. Would I want him on Juventus? The short answer is yes. The long answer is, where the hell does he play? And would Allegri be able to fit him into our system? Like, can you play him as a 10? I agree with that.
That's an attacking mid, yeah.
Right. Yeah. But is that where my fear is that if Allegri's the coach, I don't think Allegri would maximize his potential. It's kind of scary thinking about it.
That's actually a good point too. Yeah. So Lewis, one of his things, and it's interesting. We got Cliff here saying don't touch Zaniolo, and Lewis saying I vote yes. So the split is there even in our live and amongst our team too. But Lewis saying just needs the right coach, and could be an alternative to Paulo. Is Allegri the right coach? Now Max asked that question. I don't know when it comes to offensive players and getting the most out of them, if Max is indeed the guy. Yeah. Scary,
Like, we don't even know what our
scenario.
lineup is. Is our lineup a 4-2-3-1? Is it a 4-3-3? Can he fit into both of those?
Yeah, he could fit into a 4-3-3. I don't see
Right.
why not. Being one of the creative Metsalas, right? Again, can go to wing, but it's not his ideal. I don't think both of those are his ideal spot. But Roma right now, he is being utilized as Metzala. He's also struggling right now. So I don't know. It's a tough one. And it's interesting because we all have a lot of respect for Zaniolo and like him, and yet it's huge promise, right? The injuries, super unfortunate. But it's interesting to see how Juventini feel about that move, right? Because he kind of checks a lot of the boxes on what we're looking for project-wise, but it's that injury thing, right?
Is that something that you saw out there, or is that something that just came out of that noodle of yours?
No, they're rumors.
Ooh.
Obviously not strong sources, but we love hypotheticals. So I don't discriminate against anybody that provides news.
Do I like hypotheticals? Well, that's different. That's a question for a different day. But we actually had this chat, this discussion in our group chat. All these players, somebody in our group put out the whole list of players. I think it was Omer put out the whole list of players that Juventus was linked to, and zero moves in, zero moves out. I fully believe that Juventus is kicking the tires on all of these players.
Oh yeah.
Omer put out a list in our group of about 15 players that were linked to us. I guarantee you that they called twice that number. You have to. A team has to do their due diligence to figure out, who's available. We don't know what they're planning on doing for next season. What kind of lineup they want to deploy. Max could just be, band-aiding the team this year. Let's just get through the season. Let's try and make top four, and then next summer, which you and I have always said is going to be the transfer market that's going to be most important. So, I think they're kicking the tires on a lot of players.
Well, 100%. And it makes sense for them to do that because obviously, like we just highlighted, you've got to start hitting on a lot of moves. And the other thing is, too, there's a lot of uncertainty financially, right? So we'll see. We got some other topics that have been floating around there online that we're going to touch on right now. I just want to remind everybody for the Storm the Barn session, you can start getting your questions in immediately. You don't have to wait right for that session. Okay. You got any questions you want us to ask? Simply put STB, okay, or Storm the Barn at the top so that we know, so we could just flag it, because I've had other people that just keep repeating their question throughout an entire show and flooding the live chat. Just drop it in there, okay? Storm the Barn, and then put your question on the live chat, and we'll be able to flag it, okay?
Yeah. Any ways you want to reference Storm the Barn, the more creative, the better, because Luca absolutely hates that name. So we just like to drive him nuts.
And that's why it's cemented as the name for that segment. So 100%. Congratulations. You screwed yourself. All right. Now, salaries. This has been going around. And this is Juve's salary. Now, everybody keep in mind, this does not reflect bonuses. And it's also net, not the gross, right? So gross is double that. And this is what players on Juventus are currently making. Man, where do you start?
I don't think we have a big enough paring knife, Al, to get that baby down.
Right out of the gate, the usual suspects, Rabiot and Ramsey. Like, just ridiculous that these guys are even in your top 5 for salaries.
Okay, we've talked a lot about those two numbskulls. So that's
Alexandro at $6 million.
Oh man, why'd you have to bring this up?
That's disgusting.
Yep,
he's not giving you $6 million. He hasn't been giving you $6 million worth of play for a couple seasons.
He's giving me $6 million worth of stomach acids. How about Bonucci at 6.5? He just won.
I'm okay with that.
He just won FIFA Defender of the Year.
Yeah, I'm
believe.
okay with Bonucci up there at 6'5", and I have no problems with that, especially when you factor in how many minutes this guy has racked up over the other years. Quadrado's an interesting one at 5 million. What's your thoughts on Quad at 5?
My first thought would be
Is it a bit much for a utility guy?
He bags a lot of minutes as well, Al. Like a lot of minutes in two different positions. Like you're not going to find a lot of guys. I guess you could find a lot of guys who could do it for cheaper, but he's with us now. Now he's up for an extension this year, I believe, or he's up for a renewal. I would be surprised if they go above that. I'd be surprised at that. Now Woj, Tech at 6.5. I'm okay with that one.
Fine with it.
Yeah, no issues.
I've always said, and people didn't really, I don't think, notice until this came out, but I said, Chiesa has always been criminally underpaid, and we've always reaped the rewards of this guy. But look at all the names ahead of Chiellini. It's wild.
Oh.
Now, given his current health and whatnot, but Rugani's making 500K more than him, Danilo 1 million more than him, Bernardeschi 1 million more than him, Artur 2 million more, Morata 2 million more. It's the list goes on and on. Sandro making double what Chiellini makes.
The Chiellini one, that's a funny one. That one I would put an asterisk beside it because I would want to see what bonuses or other incentives. The club's taking care of Chiellini. I have no doubt that I think they're taking care of him in other ways.
The other thing is this is based on his last kind of go around. He's renewed on a 1 year, right?
Yeah.
So it's like 3 mil. Before that though, he was never a high earner. Never.
Right.
Giorgio Chiellini is like the Scottie Pippen on Juventus because he's always been criminally lower.
Poor Scotty.
Scotty was criminally.
Yeah, but Scotty's got 6 rings. Let's just
doesn't matter. You still got to get paid, man. Come on. He's got what's good the rings if you have to sell them. For God's sakes.
That's mean. True, but mean.
Yeah, that was pretty harsh. That's a good one though, I thought. Kulishevsky 2.5, Bentancur 2.5. That's pretty solid when you get young guys like that. Chiesa at 5, Locatelli at 3.
That one should be highlighted, bold, underlined. You have a guy who is top 6, top 5 midfielders in the league. Top 5?
Yeah.
Top 5, top 6 at 3 million.
Now,
easy.
Look over though, because it's June 30th, 2023. So one more season, that's going to change drastically.
Oh yeah.
Chiesa, that's obviously we have to finalize that purchase based on the obligation, and then that will potentially change as well. So there's a few asterisks next to all this, but you could definitely see some errors over here, and wild stuff on guys like Sandro going on years of performance like that. The Rabiot scenario, Ramsey scenario, so it just highlights the shift in planning and what Juventus is going to do, right? And when you start hearing things like this team is going to stop with the freebies and high salaries and whatnot, perfect, because this is just crazy. And when you start looking at some of these younger guys waiting to make opportunities, waiting to make their impression felt, and the way guys like Chiesa, who nobody wanted, made an impact, how Locatelli, not a lot of people were excited. A lot were, but there was a lot that were against and say he's not to the level we needed. Okay. Look at their salaries dropping in here. You get 2 per Ramsey and per Rabiot.
Yep.
If you can find those deals. So it highlights a lot of things. And I know Lewis will back me on this one because we talked a lot about it throughout the years and throughout us trying to correct this roster, missing out on guys in our own backyard on opportunities, release clauses, regardless of what their status is. And if they feel attached to the club, like Lorenzo Pellegrini, for instance, had a 25 million release clause and whatnot. how hard did Juve actually press? I know he loves Roma. He's from Roma. That's his thing. But how hard did we actually put a press on there? Barella, yeah, I get it. Loves Inter, whatnot. Juve backed out of the Barella thing. These are guys that instantly at that time and even now make an impact on the team, and you get great salaries. So this chase for these free that end up crushing you
Yep.
financially in terms of the payback have been brutal. So this change of structure should really be no surprise.
And
But
this is why you and I have been, mainly you and I, but I think I haven't really heard anybody else preach. We need to be patient. We need to be patient this year, because if you're not patient, you keep adding to this list. This list over here, where is it? This one, whatever, over here. You keep adding to it, right? You need to let the new management be patient, make the right deals. I'm okay with them making deals so far in January, because if they're making deals on the first day, on the 3rd of January, 4th of January, 5th of January, I'd have more concern on they're rushing into signing players, they're rushing into getting band-aids. So I'm glad with the patience. Like Lucas says, right? Well, patience. Paul has been patient for 3 years. Okay, he's talking about something else. But I'm glad that they're moving slow in the market, and then let's see what they can do. I'd rather do 0 moves in January and smart moves in June.
yeah, and I think honestly, this team, we've got enough to, and I said it at the start of this, our first show of 2022. I said, hey, we're going to make some noise here in the second half. We've got a good enough team to do just that, make some noise. Top 4, I have little doubt that
0.
we won't reach top 4. We'll be in top 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as everybody's starting to see what we kind of anticipated, which was the schedule getting tricky for some of these other teams, and Juve taking their hard spell, man, this weekend becomes massive.
Huge.
This weekend becomes huge. You can all of a sudden be 4 away from Milan. The Inter-Atalanta draw, fantastic for us.
Big games coming up.
Now,
I don't know who
if we
said
could
it.
just continue, we are slowly and unsuspectingly just kind of clawed our way up slowly but surely. 8 undefeated in the league.
9.
And it just keeps going. This weekend's going to be big. It's going to be big.
It's up to 9 now. But
is it 9?
It's 9, yeah, because with the win against Udinese, made it 9 unbeaten.
Fantastic. I thought it was 8, even better.
So I said this at the beginning of the year in the predictions. Now, I'm not taking credit for anything, but remember that especially at the beginning of the year predictions, we're not really going to talk about those anymore. But it was something I reiterated on the mid-season predictions, was this stretch of 8 games, which was Napoli, Rome, Udinese, Milan, Verona, Atalanta, which leads us into Valentine's Day. So that's 2, 4, 6 games. I said both times I said this stretch of games is going to make or break the season. And I think so far we're what? Draw against Napoli, win against Roma, win against Udinese. Again, you beat Milan, you beat Verona, and then boom, you're right there against Atalanta, who we're what, 4 points behind at the moment? Actually, we're 4 points behind, but they have a game in hand. So you put the pressure on them, you win that game, and it's game on for top 2. You and I said top 3 is achievable. Al, we go on a bit of a run here, bud. Number 2 isn't far off.
I know, and this is what I'm saying is once you break it down, you look at that table, it's a race. The race is on. It's solid. So, yeah, but before we even get into that and everything, Coppa Italia today, obviously.
Yep.
Juve, Sampdoria. We have the history of the fixture, whatnot. I think you've got the trivia today, which I will take a stab at solo. Omar, out of fear, didn't want to face the wrath again like he faced on the last trivia challenge, where he did not come close. I think, actually, Mr. Cappuccino took it down. but I still
did.
think it needs to go to VAR because I think I actually won it. But we'll let Joe have it. He's the new guy. Okay, we'll let Joe have it.
No,
It's cool.
don't give the new guys any easy rides. You tried that with me, and look how it worked out. I stuck around. Now you're stuck with me. So
Yeah, that's true.
no,
So sorry, Joe. I took the title down.
yeah,
Omar,
yeah.
out of fear, stayed away today. Watch me butcher this trivia challenge
You
today,
might.
everybody. I need
So I
your
did
help.
my best.
Everybody in the live, let's go.
You want to do it right now? You ready? Are you?
Yeah, let's do it. And then we're going to break down the Coppa Italia. And we've got lineups and all sorts of news, the Convocati list. But let's get some fun out of the way here.
Yeah, Cliff, you do stink at trivia. Now, this trivia, I kept it focused on Coppa Italia. So, we usually run a lot.
Ooh.
So I'll do my best to take it easy. I only have a couple questions. I had about 18 feet of snow to get off my driveway yesterday. So, did I do a good job of the trivia? I think I did an okay job.
Well,
But
if you only
I
got
think,
a couple, maybe I'll fire a couple your way after. So
yeah, but I also have a little thing that we played before, which was the player paths. I had a couple of those from the Udinese game that we didn't get to that I think I'd like to try on you, which I don't think you'll get, and I got a couple for today. So let's try a little bit of trivia. So Coppa Italia only, Juventus versus the team in blue from Genoa, Sampdoria. We have played Sampdoria 9 times in Coppa Italia. Alan, how many wins in Coppa Italia? Juventus
out of 9.
Out of 9. If you're looking at if you're Googling the answer right now,
I'm not. I'm actually pulling up our next file.
You need to focus on this. Don't worry about the next file.
9. Sampa's decent way back in the
Let
day.
me help you out that because it's a Coppa Italia question. We have 0 draws. So how many wins out of 9?
7. Probably dropped 2.
Probably dropped 2. Cliff and Death Clutch got it with 8.
Nice. Well done.
So I would like to ask you about the top goal scorers in this fixture, but I'm going to tell you something right now. I would be surprised if you got 2 of them.
Really?
So let's go top 5. Coppa Italia, Juventus against Sampdoria. So there's only 9 games.
Oh, it's just out of the Coppa Italia.
Right. So let's see. So I'm not going to ask you to get all 5 because there's no way I wouldn't do that to your poor soul. But let's see.
You got a guy that played both teams, though. Vialli, is he in there?
No.
Damn.
No. So the leader only has, so you have 3 guys tied at 3 goals.
Yeah.
And 2 guys at 2. It's not Ronaldo. We did the last time we played Sampdoria in Coppa Italia was 2001, 2002. So it wouldn't be Ronaldo. You guys got to go. You guys got to go further back. Vialli would have been a good call, but Vialli I don't think would have played.
Man,
looking at the years. Let's go. Give me 2. So we've played them in 57, 58, 59, 60, 68, 71, 86, 89, 2001.
2001.
No, think earlier.
What years?
Think you're like so 50, 60, 61, 71, 86, 90, and 2001. Quagliarella is not on the list. Zidane did not play them. Tevez was too late. Baggio is not on the list.
Platini.
No.
Holy Christ.
Come on. The one that I always guess when I think of old players.
Sivori.
Yeah, he's got 3.
Oh, there you go. Well, you threw me off because you're like, I don't think you can get one. I was going to guess Sivori because he's almost on every single one. So I was like, oh, yeah. But that's probably it, man.
Yeah, just let me. So Romeo Benetti is the other one with 3.
Okay.
Bruno Nicole had 3. So like you're talking guys probably in like the 50s. And then one guy, Leonard Skoldland from Sampdoria.
That sounds made up.
Yeah. The other one with 2 is Marcello Zalaieta. Has 2 goals.
Zalaieta.
So he scored. If anyone wants to look it up, actually, I'll get to that one. So 9 games. Sorry, that was a tough one. That one took up way too much time, but that was a tough one.
That was ridiculous. When you narrow
Total
it to
goals.
Coppa Italia, it's like, holy
Yeah,
Christ.
total goals for Juve against Sampdoria in 9 games. 9 games, total goals.
2 per would be 18. You're not always going to get that. 17, 20.
28 goals.
Oh my God.
We smashed 5 past them twice.
Wow.
Yeah. So that might. So last time we played Sampdoria in the Coppa Italia was 2001, 2002. In the first leg of the round of 16, we won 2-1. Right, the last time we played them. So 2001, 2002, we won 2-1 the first leg, thanks to goals from Marcello Zalietta again. If anyone wants to Google that goal, beautiful assist by Del Piero on that one. And that was in the second minute. And then Mirko Conte own goal. Can you guess the score of the second leg of that game?
And the first was what, sorry?
2-1.
2-1?
We won the second leg.
4-0.
4-0 is close. That is a 4-goal advantage.
Another 5-0?
5-2 was the score in that.
5-2.
So goal scorers, I'll give you the goal scorers from that day. Because, Coppa Italia, who the hell are these guys? Do you remember Enzo Maresca?
Yeah.
I don't. So Ciro had won that game. Ciro Ferrara had won that game. There's Marcello Zalietta's other goal was in that one. Nicola Amoroso.
Yeah.
He had 2 in that 5-2 win.
Wow.
So if you're ready, are you ready for some player pass? Do you think your mind's kind of...
Like I said, I've been butchering this one when it's solely
It's tough.
Coppa
With
Italia.
Coppa Italia, you got to take it with a grain of salt.
This is player thing. These player ones are tough, but I like them. I enjoy them. So let's see. Let's see if the live can nail some of these. So fire away.
So this one is I put this one up for the Udinese game. So you guys need to think a little bit older for this one. This is one of my favorite players of all time. This player is not Italian. So I'll start off with that. All right. So think outside of Italy. So
Wait, we going current Juve players, their path?
No.
This is any era Juve player?
He never played with Juventus, this player.
Then what the hell are we doing here?
Well, who wants to? That's too easy. You want? Okay, let me pick another one then.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it. If this is one of your favorite, go ahead. Let me just see if I can take a step. You've got me intrigued, but I mean, what the hell are we doing here? Let's go.
So this is this player started with Flamingo, then went to Udinese, then back to Flamingo, and then finished off in Japan with the Kashima Antlers. Flamingo, great. Flamingo.
And then Udinese?
Yeah, he had a small stint at Udinese, which looking at the Udinese one, I was like, oh, that's pretty surprising. So Flamingo youth team, Flamingo, went to Udinese, went back to Flamingo, where he enjoyed a long career. Think 80s Brazil. Come on, man. You guys are killing me here.
80s. I was born in 84, by the way.
Yep. So you weren't even alive when this guy was... Well, actually, I watched him play, this guy. I watched him play in 88 in Toronto for Flamingo against the AC Milan great team, or 89. Yeah, Zico is the player.
Zico.
If any of you kids out there want to look at what a footballer was from Brazil in the 80s, look up Zico. That guy was unbelievable. Now, I did not know
for a bit. That's wild.
I did not know that the rule was these players had to play with Juventus when we did the player pass. So, but I do have one.
Okay.
I do have one. You ready? So this one did play with Juventus. This one also played with, again, this was the Udinese one. You ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Reggiolo, Padova, Castel de Sangro, I don't know what that is, Udinese, Juventus, Cesena, back to Udinese, back to Juventus. So really it's Udinese, Juventus, Cesena, Juventus. So his career spanned from 96 to 2014.
What on earth?
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to think of guys that went Udinese to Juve. The Cesena is really throwing me
Yeah.
off
This is
because I know
a
like guys like Asamoah came to us from Udinese. Iaquinta
this
came
is
to us
a
from
2006 national team player. If that helps. So Reggiolo, Padova,
2006. He was part of the Azzurri.
he scored. Udinese, Juventus, Cesena,
He
Juventus.
scored.
Yep.
Grosso didn't come to us from
Mm-mm.
Udinese. Who are the Udinese guys there? Barone. Barone?
He wasn't part of 2016.
Yeah, he was.
Who?
Barone.
I
I'm
don't
pretty sure
remember
his
him.
last name was Barone. Anyways, he's not the answer.
Mm-mm.
Iaquinta.
Yeah, if I'm going who, that's not the right one.
Man, 2006 Zaccardo.
Zaccardo scored on our own net.
Yeah. I'm just throwing names here.
Yep.
It's not Iaquinta.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
2006. The Cesena is just rattling me right now.
Yeah.
Perota. No.
Nope.
Because Perota was always Rome for a long, long time. Who was on that team, man? Grosso, Barzali, Cannavaro, Sambrota.
Come on now. Pick a name, bud.
Gattuso. Fucking no, I'm not saying it's Gattuso. I'm just naming players. Pirlo, Camoranesi, Inzaghi.
Yep.
Was it? No, because the keepers were Peruzzi, Buffon, and a third wouldn't be.
Who was the third? The third was the only player that didn't play in that tournament.
Can't remember his name. Pepe was not part of the 2006 squad. Man, Lewis is saying easy one. Iaquinta,
it is,
but it's not Iaquinta. I've said Iaquinta.
Did you know you were just saying names? Did you pick him?
Who? Iaquinta?
Yeah.
I said earlier Iaquinta.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Oh,
you said Iaquinta, like, it can't be him.
I said Iaquinta, but the Cesena throws me off. But I'm thinking Iaquinta. You were like, no.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I got an easy one. Let's just toss one up here. Let's see how quickly the people in the chat can get this one. Yeah, you need to be a little bit more assertive on your answers. I think that's what the problem is. Come on, man. I know it's what.
You need to understand what I'm throwing out there. Iaquinta? Iaquinta?
Yeah, that's what is that.
It's an answer.
Yeah. You and I need to work together a little bit more often. All right, here we go. Let's see who can get this one first. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Torino, Florentia, Torino, Chieti, Torino, Udinese, Ascoli, Udinese, Sampdoria, Udinese, Napoli, Juventus, Torino, Sampdoria, Torino, back to Sampdoria.
Good God, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need the live chat on that one. Quagliarella. Is it?
Yeah. That's
wow.
Him.
Well
I think
done, Lewis.
Those are a lot of like 1 year, right? Like he was flipping around.
I had no idea the list was that long. And Torino threw me off.
Well, it looks like that was a June. Yeah, that was a July. Oh, that looks like one summer he flipped 2 teams. They kept flipping them around.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're right there. The Napoli, Juventus. I forgot he was flipping around that much.
Dude, that Napoli poor guy threw me off too, but Torino really threw me off on Quags.
If you guys haven't read his story about what he had to go through with the, it was the, not the bribery is not the word. It was, he was being extorted for money.
Yeah.
the extortion story and what he was going through, and then how he rejuvenated himself at Sampdoria. Qualidad of the story is
It's
fascinating.
interesting stuff. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But man, that's crazy. I had no idea some of those teams and just how many. Like, just that's crazy. That's fun though. Those are good questions. And yes, in the future, the Zicos of the world might have to be permitted from the challenge. It's too difficult.
That he was just I didn't know he played for Udinese. So
Yeah, that's
we can make a
interesting.
rule. We can make a rule. He can't play. We can't
Well,
have those guys in there. But
we could spot some of them. Be able to spot some of them, but Zico and Udinese, I would have never thought.
I like Flamingo. Great. It's Zico, but you guys are all too young for that. See,
Yeah.
Big Bob's with me. Bob knows. I got a feeling Bob knows. Bob knows who Zico is.
All right, back to business. Let's go. This was the rumored lineup. We got Coppa Italia today. Let's get focused. This was the rumored lineup as of yesterday, and even earlier on this morning. Bernardeschi suffering from muscle fatigue. We know he's not going to be in there.
Yep.
The latest: Perin, Deschilio, Danilo. Big that he's back in the list. We also should be highlighted here that Miretti, Sule, and Ake all in the list as well. So we have Perin, Deschilio, Danilo as a center back next to Rugani with Pellegrini on the left. Quadrado higher up the pitch. Artur, Locatelli, Rabiot, Kulishevsky, and Morata. 4-4-2. Rabiot on the left. Pellegrini's there. Your initial thoughts on this lineup, everybody on the live, all of your thoughts on this lineup.
So I put over here to the right 4-4-2, the lineup that gives us all headaches and stomach acid, of course. Perin, fine with it. The only issue I have at the back is Danilo. Is he ready? That's the only question I have. We have this run, like we keep talking about this run we need to go on, and he, for me, is a key that we need on the run. I don't want to rush him back. I'm okay with playing. I saw the other one where I saw De Winter in there. So that one for me gives me a little bit of Achila. Quadrado, Arthur. So this looks like a.
It should be a 4-3-3, but it's going to be based off a 4-4-2 shell. So Quadrado's going to be the one bombing up there.
Christmas came late.
Just be frustrating us all on the left.
Yeah, Christmas came late for me and you, Al. We find if this is true, we got our Arthur Locatelli center. So let's see how they cook.
Yeah.
Did Locatelli play last game? I'm trying to remember. How many minutes did he get?
Positive is the Arthur and Locatelli at the same time. I will wait to see this other lineup. So you've got some positive, but this seemed so wild to me. Like De Winter as a center back.
Yeah.
Kyle George in the hole. Yeah, this one was just crazy. Could you imagine a pivot of Rabiot and Bentancur?
I apologize for even printing this one. I printed it. This one's my fault. I did not come up with it, but I did print it for us to share. But that would be an absolute nightmare.
This is wild. Wild stuff.
The right half of it wouldn't be too bad. Like let's see what the young Brazilian can do with Morata up there. That wouldn't be okay. The left half, De Winter. Does De Winter play center back with the Primavera squad, or is he a right back?
He's a fullback. So to see him there was just wild, right? But like, I went too far. Perin, Deschilio, Danilo, Rugani, Pellegrini, Quadrado, Arthur, Locatelli, Rabiot, Kulishevsky, Morata. So again, it's the same suspects you want to keep eyes out for. Danilo, I definitely understand your concern, the fact that he's just back and he gets started. But again, we just have to have trust in the staff that they know what they're doing there, right? Arthur and Locatelli is a big positive. Rabiot, if held to just do the job we need him to do, kind of like Bentancur in the first half of that Udinese match, perfect. If he just sticks to that and just does that, what that will do is put put a little pressure on Pellegrini to get more involved up the pitch, which I'm sure he can do. DeShilio's been actually solid, so no concerns there over DeShilio.
So is Dragani.
Kulishevsky has to put in a shift. Kulishevsky has to start being impactful with this offense, especially in the absence of Chiesa. So, but yeah, we'll see. As far as the youngsters and everybody, I see comments in the live chat here about people wanting to see these youngsters start and all that. These guys are going to get their minutes. Let's bag a bunch and then be able to get these guys in with some minutes where maybe there's not so much tension on them, right? Playing a little bit looser, right? So he's saying De Winter is mainly CB, but naturally you will see these guys come up, and he's been playing fullback for us, the senior side.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's usually what happens. If you guys think back to Chiellini, 2006, left back. So that's usually how it happens. Are you confident in throwing him in at center back, though, for the senior side, regardless of him doing that at U23s?
Different game.
Exactly.
Now you're playing with men. Completely different game.
Exactly. So, no, I don't do that, regardless, even if he is, predominantly center back down there. He was great for us as a fullback on the senior side when he comes in there. So if I had to pick Danilo or De Winter, I'm going to go with Danilo because you're going to have to get a little bit of balance up there. And for young guys, this is tough. Remember earlier in the season when we talked about that balance of taking a shot and trying to get the guys you need rolling? This is kind of where we're at right now. We have to get Kulu going. We have to get Morata firing. Like, we have to. Caio Jorge, I think, should have started, though, personally.
Yep.
I think I would have given him the nod up top because I don't think there's too much risk there in that general position.
I'll put it this way. If we won the Super Copa, I'd be starting De Winter and Caio Jorge in this game.
Yeah.
If we already had a trophy in the cabinet from this year, it's a different story. But we don't. And Coppa Italia now becomes a must-win for this club. Has to.
Yeah.
Right? You can't finish this season without a trophy, and I think there's going to be a lot of pressure from the higher-ups on Allegri now to pull this one out.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Again, looking at this lineup, though, more than enough. I'm happy Pellegrini's in there.
Yep.
But the thing is, too, when you look at this lineup, we have Milan on the weekend, too.
Yep.
So,
yeah, good point.
Does it, and this is why, looking at this, I would have probably gone Caio Jorge because Morata, out of the options, has been the most influential. I'd want him full set for Milan. The Arthur and Locatelli thing, interesting that we get it in our first Coppa Italia match rather than throughout the season in the Serie A important game. So there's some question marks for sure. Maybe could have been balanced out a bit more, but they are going for it based on this lineup. So
yeah, and 2 points. One, Milan is 4 days away. Good point. I guess we play them say Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, so we play them Saturday. Sunday? Anyways, I got enough to worry about between now and then. First, we got to deal with this game, and then we got to deal with the post-game show. Then I got to deal with the rest of the week. Then we got to deal with the pre-game Milan. Then we have the Milan game. So there's a lot to worry about there between now and then. But these are no longer two-legged affairs. They used to be two legs, these Coppa Italia round of 16 matches. So now that they're not, you kind of got to go full guns to get through these early rounds. Sampdoria, I don't know if they have any injuries. I was going to try and bring it up quick. Shame on me for not looking that up. But if somebody wants to look that up for us, I don't know if they're down players. That's going to come into effect. That's going to affect how Allegri picks his lineup. We need it today, man. We cannot go into extra time. Can't happen. Got to finish them early.
I agree with you. We got to just get the job done. We can't be messing about. At the same time, I think 4 days is still, we make a big fuss about 3 days away, one more day, depending how challenging this game might end up being.
Yep.
Not always, that one extra day. It does help for sure, but it's not the be all end all. Sampdoria, as far as injuries go that I can see, Yoshida might be out. Odero might be out. Outside of that, Damsgaard, I think, is probably going to be out.
Well, you keep looking up. We got Lou here saying Samp is down to 10 players. It was down 10 players.
Yeah. So a lot of
That's
these
a
guys,
lot.
though, wouldn't be guys you'd probably see, though. I was just naming the guys that you would know and probably have an impact, right? Vere out, Colley out, but Damsgaard, Odero, Yoshida, probably big ones.
Damsgaard, funny player, eh? Had a hell of a tournament last summer. A lot of people.
I think he's a
didn't
good
even
player,
know.
man. I think he's
I
a
didn't
good
even know
player.
he played for Sampdoria until I was like, oh, this kid's Sampdoria. And then
So,
he's
given
had a
that,
quiet season.
Given that,
Mm.
yeah, this lineup's starting to make more sense. Hammer
Mhm.
them, put them under, get the job done, get the
Yep.
young guys in, and get them their minutes as much as possible. So yeah, I'm cool with that. Prediction time has arrived.
Okay.
It is prediction time.
And look, I'm ready to
Also,
go.
everybody, storm the barn questions.
Yeah,
Start
get those
tagging
in.
them. Storm the barn and then put your question in there, and let's start.
Let's see.
We could tackle a couple today.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you guys make
Ruben's
them
started a
really
little late.
good, maybe we'll get to a few more. So
Let's see
go.
who in the chat wants to go up against the greatest of all time, and I'm talking about myself. So if anybody in the chat thinks that, how about Lorenzo? Lorenzo seems to be cracking my nuts every once in a while. Hey, Lorenzo, let's see what you got on the predictions today. All right,
I'm going to answer this one right out of the gate. Nothing is a better name for
zero.
it. Luca, there's two things you can do about it. Nothing and like it.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
We've asked you numerous times, come up with a name. And what have you said? You've just cried on your big pillow and done nothing. You've just sat there eating cookies, bobbing up and down like Kramer in bed. Come up with a name.
Yeah. Yeah. It's too easy to complain and offer nothing.
Yeah. Zero. I was in a good mood because I didn't have to shovel any more snow. But now, all of a sudden, Luca comes in the chat. Okay, let's get going.
Yeah.
Let's see if Lorenzo wants in on.
Lorenzo. Let's go. Lorenzo, I need a sign of life there in the chat besides, let's go. Are you ready to take on Anthony here? Are you ready to take on No Knees?
This one is too easy. All right, you ready to go? Al, halftime score.
2-0 Juve.
Oh, you're saying we are going full guns. That is not how this Juventus operates. This Juventus operates on pain and suffering for its fan base. I'm going 1-0 at halftime.
Okay.
All right. Full-time score.
3-1.
3-1. You think we're actually going to allow? So you think it's an own goal? Oh, do you think it's an own goal?
A combination of a mismatched center back pairing, Rugani out there. I think Samp will find one.
Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go with Anish because Lorenzo absolutely just left us here. So, Anish, you went 1-0 at halftime, and you went 3-1 full-time score. I'm going to go 3-0. I think we keep a clean sheet today. I think that stop that Perrin made on Dumfries was not talked about enough. Near post when he's a good goalie, man. All right.
Lorenzo's jumping in there 4-1 at full time.
All right, Lorenzo, get your halftime score in. 4-1.
Get your halftime score in, Lorenzo.
All right. So, scores. Do you have 3 goals? We all have 3 goals.
Kulu gets 1.
So, who? Kulu?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Morata gets 1.
Morata gets 1.
Substitute. Kyle George finds 1.
You think Kyle George finds 1? I'm going to go with Morata's going to get on the score sheet. I agree with that one. I don't want to take Kulu because that's a good pick. I think you might find. You got to can we bring up the lineup again really quick? Help me out here. Arthur. Oh, Locatelli gets 1. Luka gets one, and I'm going to go with Morata with 2. Morata's going to get 2 today.
This is a probable too. Probable Juve 11. But
yeah, I know. So
okay.
Death Clutch is going Locatelli Morata. Okay, good for him. So Anish, Lorenzo, I'm going to need your goal scores. You can always just tell me on Twitter because I'm probably not going to go back to this. I got way too much going on today. All right, Juventus offsides, total offsides. Morata is playing.
Total offsides for Juve 3.
That's a lot. You said 5 last game. I think. What did we have? I think we had 1. We haven't been getting a lot of offsides. You want to stick with 3?
The Morata rule is minimum 3.
I'm going to say 2. I'm going to go 2 offsides total for Juventus. All right. So Anish, Lorenzo get those picks in. So scores, offsides, first yellow card. First yellow. I'll start with this one since already you've said a couple. I'll go 34th minute to Samp. Lorenzo's going 4 offsides. Scores, Lorenzo. Oh, you got there. Morata.
I had his goal scores. Yeah. Death Clutch coming in hot with 5 offsides.
Quadrado's a good call with one of these too.
Okay. All right. So where are we at now?
We're at yellow card.
Oh, yellow card.
Team is optional for a second half point.
53rd minute, Sampdoria.
Oh, so you're going for, this game is going to be played with big hugs and brand muffins until the second half.
I think with them being depleted, Juve is going to have a pretty good handle on things.
31 Juve. Okay. 3. So Lorenzo's going 31st minute. Anish, get your yellow card. What minute? And I still need his goal scores. All right. So shots on goal. Total shots.
Attempts. Yeah. 12 from Juventus with 5 being on target.
Okay. I'm going to go with an absolute barrage today. I'm going to go 15 and 7. 15 and 7.
All right.
Possession.
63-37.
63-37. Good math. I'm going to go 61-39. So Lorenzo, he's going 18 and 6. 18 and 6. And then Lorenzo, I need your possession. So man of the match. I'm going to go. I don't think Sampdoria's going to get a lot of shots, so it won't be Perin. But I'm going to say, and the match gives 3 yellow cards. Jeez, we only need 1, bud. Anish, get your goal scores too. Man of the match, I'm going to go with Morata today because he's getting 2 goals. I know. This man of the match on this one is kind of like, come on.
I was going to go Morata as well, but I want to be different.
You want to be different. Yeah, I know you do.
I'll go Locatelli.
Loca. All right, you two in the chat get your. Oh, Kulu's. You got Kulu man of the match. Kulu man of the match. See, that's
that
why
last game. Didn't work out good for me.
That's why you can't play at the big
dogs. I called
him
for a goal today. I'll stick to that. That's it.
Oh, Anish, he sends in his goal scores, sends his man of the match. Anish, I need your shots and on goal. Attempts and on target. So 58-42. Make sure I wrote all these down. I'll check them later to make sure that the veracity of them is correct. All right, Al, what do you think, bud? You think you feel more confident after talking to me for this one or what?
Well, I'm feeling pretty good. I feel confident in this one for Juventus. They're going to get the job done. I have honestly like little doubts in them not being able to finish this one, but the games are played for a reason. Anything can happen, but I feel very, very strong and confident about them getting the job done today. Anthony, Are you the same?
After talking with you, I feel better. Coppa Italia, they're tough to get up for, but again, losing the Coppa Italia, we need this one, man. We need this one. because we have, if the bracket progresses as it should, we will get Inter in the next round. So need it.
Are you sure on that?
I believe so. I believe it's already set up that way. Someone can double check, but I'm pretty
Oh,
confident it's Inter in the next
I
round.
haven't checked the brackets in quite some time because the Coppa Italia not on the highest of priorities. I thought that the Milan sides were on the opposite end, both of them on the opposite sides of the bracket. I could be wrong. Could have also just been the graphic and how they do it.
Yep.
So,
But we'll
yeah,
check on that. We don't want to give people false information, but I'm pretty sure we got Inter next.
yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I have no doubts. I want the team to be focused, though, not look ahead to the weekend. Obviously, with how solid
Terrible.
that the team needs to be on the weekend against Milan. That's a big one, but the team has to take care of business here. Again, get in there, fire it away, get it done, and get the young guys in, and then look to Milan. So,
Yep.
your calls of the barrage might be spot on, and because they should approach it that way, and they
Need
should
it.
go all out, get it done, get the young guys in, and let's move. We got a couple quick ones for Storm the Barn. Lewis threw one in here, and it was if Delic leaves, who would be the center back you'd replace him with? First of all, it's not a matter of replacing him because you're not. It's going to be probably who's out there for opportunities that can help.
Bring
The other
Demirel
thing
back.
is not that he would be replacing, but he would help the overall center back picture. Is that it's not certain that Atalanta takes the option on Demirel, right? Romagnoli is a free. I would not actually have as much reservation on Romagnoli if Delict leaves. Romagnoli's experience would probably come in key. Keep in mind, Bonucci's not going anywhere. Okay, Bonucci's still going to be around. We have Rugani.
He's playing well.
Rugani till 2023. He's doing okay. He's serviceable now at least. But you're not going to replace Delict. So a generational talent like that, you're not going to look in the Mercado to get him going in our state right now, like find an automatic step in. It would be the group, and you take what you can get and see. So it's very, very interesting. I would like to see maybe a move like Romagnoli on a free and possibly a young guy to bring in and groom and grow and see who's there. Obviously, Demiral's future lies in the balance. Anthony, your thoughts if Delic leaves?
Nothing to add. Dragusin, I don't know. Let's see how he plays today. I think he's having an okay season over there at Sampdoria. I'm not sure how many minutes he's getting. Maybe someone can help me out with that because I'm not spending my time watching Sampdoria games. Let's get real. But I think you, like you said, you don't replace Delict, but there's options. We'll have options.
Yeah. How much do you guys rate Martial for a loan option? So the thing with Martial is that we talked about it earlier on in the rumors and whatnot. A loan, sure, but it's not going to be a loan. Man U's going to want to get rid of him. He wants to leave Man U. Are you ready to commit what it's going to take to Martial? Probably not. I think you look elsewhere. I'm still sticking to my guns saying I'm 80% confident Scamacca comes in the summer. I think Scamacca is going to be the guy. I'm going to stick to my guns on that one.
A month ago, I would have disagreed with that. Now it's like there is a lot of smoke there, man. There is a lot of smoke going on with Scamacca for sure.
Yeah. There's just too much there. Constant meetings.
Makes sense. Young player. Yeah. It fits with the train that this management's on. Let's get younger. Bring in Italian players.
Yeah.
See if it works out.
We can probably take a couple more. Allegri said Rovella will stay at Genoa, but with Genoa's current state, will that change? Rovella. Let's get to Rovella real quick here. Anth, get your little rank out of the way, and then I'll touch on Rovella.
Okay. Because I got stuff to do. Rovella is a Genoa player. It makes no sense to break the loan with Genoa because what's Genoa going to want to break that loan? Unknown. They're going to want money. They're going to want players. So it makes no sense. It makes even less sense if Arthur is still here. If Arthur is still with Juventus, it makes zero sense bringing Rovella in. Just let him play there. Let him play with that dog shit team for another 4 months, and then we'll bring him back in June. And then he can light up or do whatever he wants when he comes back but he's not coming back. It makes no sense to bring him back.
Yeah.
Especially if we have Arthur still on the roster.
Yeah. Yeah. With Rovella, here's the thing. If we are seriously looking at Bruno Guimaraes right now, you don't have the money to do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you don't know what Genoa is going to want to break the loan. That could be good or bad because maybe it's not that much given their circumstance. They just fired Shevchenko as well. That's their 13th coach in like not very many seasons.
It's like the Cleveland Browns.
They're done. They're dusted.
Mm-hmm.
We might be doing the kid a service, and he's talented enough. If we're looking for midfielders, save the money for your big summer. See what they want. Maybe it's not so bad, and maybe that's a better play for right now because you get him out of a really crappy scenario. My biggest thing on it, though, he does not come if Allegri will not play him. If Max has to green light this thing, because if he comes and we just sit him on the bench, then I don't care if he's at that dumpster fire. He's better off there because he's getting the minutes. So my biggest thing on Rovella, Max must play him if he comes back. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if we call him back, he's got to play. Just trying to spot some more here. How many? So Rovella next year, same kind of thing. What do we have on this one? Vlahovic rumors have been flying again. Some are said by some trusted journalists. Thoughts? KM, you're all over Vlahovic.
He needs it. KM needs it. He must have a big money bet on it. Like, we love KM. He's one of the favorites around.
Vlahovic, man, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I'm not feeling it. I know that they're picking up as of late, and the interest is there. I don't know how they're going to swing it unless a guy like De Ligt that instantly drastically changes your capital goes. That's the only way I could see. Or we have to get rid of 2 smaller capital value moves in order to bring them. But then you still have to cover those other moves.
Mm-hmm.
I see it as a stretch. I see it as too big a stretch for Juve to make. Anthony, you got anything to add?
No, I agree with you on that. It's just the money, the way this team is going. We're trying to offload some money. Joe Cappuccino is going to be coming out with an interesting article about the finances. I think the way this team is moving, it makes more sense to go after the player with the lower transfer fee, and that's going to be Scamacca. It's just making way too much sense.
Yeah,
Vlahovic is going to be what, like $75 million? I don't see this management making that splash.
Yeah, it's going to be. I just can't see it. I would love to be wrong on this, KM. Believe me, I would love nothing more than your guy Vlahovic to come in here, but I'm not holding my breath. Everybody, that wraps up the Storm the Barn. That wraps up the Matchday Live. Thank you for joining. Everybody that's here, real quick, like the video, okay? Subscribe to the channel if you're new.
Push the button.
We are going to be back tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, to break down this match, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And, Ant, anything to touch on before we
Pitter
sign
patter,
off?
let's get at her. Need to win. No overtime. No extra time, for the love of God.
Coming, okay? Wins coming, okay? I have zero doubts. I will go as far to guarantee all of you the victory today. Okay. Guarantee the victory. Juventus wins. Meet us here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, so we can celebrate together and go through it. Okay. Fino alla fine. Forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.